Well, it is obvious now that your job as the coordinator of the information center has most likely overshadowed your initial task as DG of the National Orientation Agency. I don't know if the two of them are now very closely related, or is it that, one has taken the back seat? If it hasn't, if the NOA hasn't taken the back seat, what would you say that your organization has been peddling in recent times, trying to get the attention of Nigerians on?
Well, it has not. If anything, is that the first of the mandates of the agency is to publicize government policies, programs, and activities to promote the tenets of peace, integration, and so forth and so on. So even this briefing could be said to be within some aspects of the mandate of the agency, but that is not it. We have not relegated this. I am in Lagos here. I've come for a program on a workshop with bloggers and social media, online practitioners. Also to explore the possibilities of ethics and communication and the communication of conflict sensitivity issues. And it's all part of the orientation program, because we are working with bloggers and social media enthusiasts to see what we can do to push, to make the case for patriotism in the use of social media. It's a trip, this is the third of a 4-5-part series of engagement with bloggers. We've had one in Abuja, Kaduna, and Lagos. We are looking forward to Port Harcourt and such other major cities. Hopefully, something good will come out of it that we can use to contribute to the intellectual content of managing that open space. And apart from that, we have secured quite a number of partnerships to embark on voter education and civic education in the communities. We are currently working with the European Union funded program through the UNDP Pt.2, and we're mobilizing communities. We are working in the communities. For the first time, the National Orientation Agency is able to send substantial amount of money to the local government. It's the first time, and I'm proud to say this.
To local government?
To local government areas.
To your offices?
Or? Yes, to my offices in the local government areas, to embark on community mobilization. We have done the first phase, where in the next couple of days we expect to get more. What we are focusing on is electoral violence and conflict-sensitive communication reduction, and civic responsibility issues. And first, I think about 3 or 4 local government areas each got some funding to do this. And we are sending more money so that we extend the activities beyond, post, during, and post-election. That is the strategy, and that is why we slowed down when the elections were shifted, so we don't exhaust all our capability and logistics. And you will see more of this action from next week.
Well, it's a good thing you mentioned that, because I was going to ask, how is it affecting? The NOA is not just situated in Abuja, it also has state branches. I don't know that the state branches have been very active, but now that you say this, it would seem that maybe something has been going on behind the scenes.
Well, a lot has been going on, even here in Lagos. We've had quite a number of programs here within the last 2-3 weeks in some of the local government areas. And my state director has been up and about. Maybe I just was speaking with him this morning of the need to continuously engage major media houses like channels and so forth, so that the stories of what is happening in the local areas are also made known. It is, for every NOA activity, is an experience sharing opportunity. So let us see what is happening in Lagos, in the local areas, on the news. Other communities elsewhere, Nigeria is vast, can learn from the experiences of the events in the various locations. So we're going to improve on that, and that is why our partners have pledged to support us with additional funding. That is the European Union Pt.2 project. And you begin to see more of these activities. We are currently on a few radio stations and 1 or 2 television stations, but we will expand the scope.
You know, in expanding the scope, what other means of transmission are you employing to disseminate some of this information to those people?
Quite a number of them. We have produced IEC materials. I have some, I will show you in a short while, explaining the various party symbols. We have other IEC materials explaining the processes of voting and what constitutes offense in the electoral processes. They are being translated in various languages and distributed to the communities for their use. We have other platforms like the Theatre for Development. It's a very effective instrument that the agency had deployed in the past. It's deploying for this purpose, where we work with the communities to design the message. We only have a synopsis of the message, and we work together to design the message and play it out. What benefit? The advantage is that you leave the message in the community as you move along, because the members of the community form the cast. They write the story, they tell the story, and it's been quite effective.
What kind of feedback or response did you get? Because in terms of how you adjust, for instance, I'm not sure the IEC materials will have the logo of Young Democratic Party. That's the newest party in town.
I just saw it this morning on channels that the courts had ordered the inclusion of YDP. Well, we are still in the process of, we are already in the field. We will get whatever is constitutionally and legally right to include in these campaigns that we are doing. They also have a right, but they also have a responsibility. It's not just the responsibility of government or NOA to popularize political parties. So they have a major task coming a little bit late in the game to ensure that they are as popular in all the 774 local government areas.
Yeah, in terms of it's having the necessary or the desired impacts. For instance, we've seen leaders of political parties, the leading candidates, both at the federal level, even at the state level, signing and still continuing to sign this peace accord, this peace pact. But what we see in the field is different from what they put pen on paper for. And then we ask, is it having the desired impacts? Do you think that all of this will amount to something?
Yeah, it should. It really should, because when leadership speaks and they have a supportive and disciplined followers, they would listen. But what is bad, or what may be bad, is when you say one thing and you do another thing contrary to what you are preaching. It runs counter to the spirit of the agreement, of the accord signed. And that is why we have been urging the political parties to go back and look again at the lines of what they signed. Not just the political parties, but the politicians themselves. Look, I have undertaken a visit to quite a few of them, and we're going to continue to visit them, to urge them to stick to that. And I was discussing, with a partner, development partner, just a couple of, I think yesterday, on the need for us to have a national peace policy that will be in place that will guide the conduct of all of us. You come to seek public office and you are not convincing me enough of what you want to do. You are urging me to violence. You're creating a general situation of bitterness within my mind. I go to the polls with bitterness. Anybody who I believe or I think is not towing my line is totally an enemy. And it ought not to be so. We are Nigerians, it is still our country, we have a right to choose what you want. It's like going to the market to buy different type, you have different ties and beautiful clothes. It's from the market, it's from the shop, it's all there. So choose what you want and go back, use it. You live with the consequences of what you bought.